So I'm a hero. That's right, I'm a nurse. You know what, don't applaud, I did it for the wrong reasons. I was told that if I was to become a nurse, I would definitely marry a doctor. And after 6 years of working in the hospital, not only have I not married a doctor, but I haven't had sex in so long that I look forward to my yearly pelvic exam. So yeah, and now that I've learned that the doctor is not allowed to flirt with me, I actually make it a point to flirt with the gynecologist, because I know he can't. To which he replies, "Ma'am, this is really inappropriate, especially because your vagina is right in my face right now." I don't see the problem. So apparently it's wedding season, and around this time of year, all my white friends have the same complaint for me. They're like, "Oh my God, I don't want to go to another wedding. I have 4 weddings this month. I'm so tired of weddings." Meanwhile, I just went to my first wedding in 5 years. And it leads me to believe that African Americans today are getting married in much lower incidences. Now, listen, I can only speak for myself. I don't get to speak for the whole group. But I think the reason why black people are getting married less is because we don't get married if we're too anything. Like, if a black man thinks he is too fine, he's not getting married. Or too ugly, or too big, or too small, or way too rich, or too poor. We're not getting married, right? But a white man can weigh 1,000 pounds, and he has a wife, right? Like, I've seen a white man in a wheelchair, no legs, no arms. His wife, Katie, is pushing that wheelchair like, "We're trying for a baby this year, you guys." Okay, white man, billionaire, married, homeless, married. I've seen it. For a brief time, I worked as a psych nurse. That was crazy. And I had a patient. She was a 25-year-old white woman. She had bipolar schizophrenia. She had HIV. She was currently locked up in the psych unit because she was having thoughts of killing herself and others. And every time we opened up visitation, there was her fiance. I'm like, really? She's getting married and I'm not? Oh my God. All right, so last time I did a show, when I got off stage, I had a really traumatic event happen, and I want to talk about it. So I was not wearing my mask because I'm vaccinated and I'm super cool. And I got off stage, and a man from the audience walked up to me. Now, this man had a sucker in his mouth, and he pulled the sucker out of his mouth, and spit flew off the sucker and landed on my top lip. I left my body, you guys. And I had a real quick conversation with myself. I was like, "Lauren, you're gonna need new lips, okay? These lips are trash now. Like, they're over, so you're gonna have to figure out where to get a lip transplant. I'm sure they do it in LA, right?" But I said, "Here's how you survive this moment. Keep your lips closed really tight, all right? So that way the spit from him that's on your top lip can't slide down into your mouth." I had a plan. And then in that very moment, the producer of the comedy show grabs me and pulls me to go take photos with the other comedians for the comedy club's website. Now, of course, I tell her, "Hold on, girl. I gotta run to my car, spray my face with rubbing alcohol, wipe off this makeup, pull off 2 layers of epidermis. I'll be right back." But I can't tell her that because I can't open my mouth for fear that this man's DNA would come inside me. So with my mouth shut, I proceed to take some of the ugliest photos that this comedy club has ever seen. So I'm like, alright, so I get out of there. Finally get out. Oh, wait, let me tell you about the guy. You might be wondering about the man who the spit came from. Like, was he attractive? Because listen, if he was hot, like if I would have made out with him, that's the same thing. Or did he at least appear clean? Okay? The answer to all those questions is no. He was a grown man in a comedy club sucking a lollipop. He was a weirdo. And so I finally get out of there. I get myself cleaned up, and much later I go and I take a COVID test. It turns out that I'm COVID negative, but I am pregnant, so I'm looking for that guy. My name is Lauren Harding. Thank you, guys.